We need to talk about Hilary Duff because she has been opening up about a lot of things recently that people have been wondering about for a long time. She's addressing the toxic mom group drama that made headlines on New Year's Day. She's talking about her relationship with her sister, and she's even revisiting some old feuds from the early 2000s. There's a lot to cover here, so let's get into it. Hilary has been doing a lot of press recently to promote her new album, which is called Luck or Something. And during these interviews, she's been surprisingly candid about some pretty personal topics. The biggest one, and the one I wasn't entirely sure she would address, is the toxic mom group drama that exploded at the beginning of this year. If you missed it, here's what happened. On New Year's Day, Ashley Tisdale published an article in The Cut titled, "Why I Left a Toxic Mom Group." In the article, she detailed what sounded like high school behavior among a group of celebrity moms. She talked about being left out of group chats, not being invited to certain events, and feeling excluded by the other women. She didn't name names in the article, but people immediately started putting two and two together. Ashley had previously posted photos with a mom group that included Meghan Trainor, Hilary Duff, and Mandy Moore. So fans assumed that this was the group she was talking about. And what really seemed to confirm it was when Hilary Duff's husband, Matthew Coma, responded on social media. He recreated the photo that Ashley had taken for the Cut article and wrote, "When you're the most self-obsessed, tone-deaf person on earth, other moms tend to shift focus to their actual toddlers." So that was a pretty clear shot at Ashley, and it made it seem like Hilary's side of the story was very different from what Ashley had described. This week, Hilary was on the Call Her Daddy podcast, and host Alex Cooper asked her about the mom group drama. Hilary said that the whole situation actually made her really sad, and she said that what was written in the article was not true. She didn't go into a lot of specific details about what exactly she disagreed with, but she made it clear that she felt the article misrepresented what actually happened. She also talked about her husband Matt speaking out about it the way he did. She said that he makes her laugh, that he's fierce when it comes to defending her, and that she doesn't censor him. So she's clearly okay with him jumping in and saying what he said, even though it probably escalated things. One thing that stood out to me was when Hilary mentioned the timing of the article. She pointed out that it came out right as she was starting to promote her new album and come back into the public eye in a bigger way. She said it left her feeling kind of used, which I think is her way of saying that maybe the timing wasn't a coincidence. It's hard to know if that's fair or not without knowing more about what actually happened in the group, but I can see why she'd feel that way. Now, on the same podcast, Hilary also addressed some much older drama, specifically her feud with Lindsay Lohan. If you were around in the early 2000s, you probably remember this. Hilary and Lindsay were the two biggest teen stars of that era. Hilary was doing Lizzie McGuire on Disney Channel and movies like A Cinderella Story, and Lindsay was doing Freaky Friday and Mean Girls. They were everywhere. And like a lot of young women in Hollywood at that time, there was this narrative that they had to be rivals. A lot of the tension between them seemed to center around Aaron Carter, who was a teen pop star at the time. He dated Hilary first, then he dated Lindsay, then he went back to Hilary. Eventually, Hilary and Aaron broke up for good when he cheated on her with someone else. But even after both of them were done with Aaron, there was still this weird tension between Hilary and Lindsay. They would show up at each other's movie premieres, which always seemed a little pointed. And there were stories about Lindsay allegedly calling up Chad Michael Murray, who had worked with both of them. He was in Freaky Friday with Lindsay and A Cinderella Story with Hilary. And supposedly, she was trying to spread rumors about Hilary. Then when Lindsay hosted Saturday Night Live, there was a joke in one of the sketches that a lot of people felt was a dig at Hilary. On the Call Her Daddy podcast, Hilary admitted that Lindsay was her nemesis at the time. She said she did intentionally show up at the Freaky Friday premiere, even though Chad Michael Murray had invited her. So it wasn't technically crashing, but she acknowledged that the timing and the fact that she went was definitely a little bit of a statement. And she said she wasn't surprised when Lindsay did the same thing and showed up at the Cheaper by the Dozen premiere. But the good news is that Hilary says they made up years ago. She said they resolved things over some shots, which is a very 2000s way to handle a feud. And she made it clear that there's no bad blood between them now. It's actually kind of nice to hear, because it feels like a lot of the young women from that era were pitted against each other unnecessarily, and it's good to know that at least some of those feuds have been put to rest. Hilary also talked about her time on Gossip Girl, which was a much shorter stint but still pretty memorable. She played a character named Olivia Burke, who was a movie star that got involved with Dan and Vanessa. I remember being surprised when I saw her on the show, because I'd only really seen her in Disney projects up until that point. So seeing her in a more adult role was a little bit of a shock. When she talked about her experience on that set, she added some fuel to the fire of rumors that the Gossip Girl cast didn't always get along. Over the years, there have been stories about tension among the main cast members, and Hilary basically confirmed that by the time she got there, the cast was kind of over each other. She didn't go into a lot of detail, but she made it sound like the set wasn't the most welcoming or fun environment to walk into. Now, something else that Hilary opened up about recently, and this one is probably the most personal, is her relationship with her sister Haley. There's been a lot of speculation about their relationship, especially after the mom group drama, because Haley was seen publicly supporting Ashley Tisdale. She liked Ashley's Instagram post where Ashley announced the article in The Cut, and Haley was also seen hanging out with Ashley and posted about it on her Instagram story. Ashley reposted it, so it became pretty clear that Hilary and Haley are not on good terms right now. On Hilary's new album, there's a song called We Don't Talk, and she's now confirmed that it's about her relationship with her sister. During an appearance on CBS Mornings, she said, "It's definitely about my sister, and just absolutely the most lonely part of my existence. It's not having my sister in my life at the moment, and I really struggle with thinking about including that on the record." She also said that she doesn't know if her sister will hear the song or how she'll react to it. She explained, "It is a really personal part of my life that doesn't get to stay personal, so I might as well say how it is for me as an experience. That's all I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to say anything bad, it's literally just my experience, and that's really all I feel like sharing." And honestly, I think that's a pretty mature way to handle it. She's not airing out dirty laundry or blaming anyone, she's just acknowledging that this is a painful part of her life right now. And since people are going to speculate about it anyway, she might as well be honest about how she's feeling. When you look at everything Hilary has addressed lately, the mom group drama, the early 2000s feuds, the Gossip Girl behind-the-scenes tension, and now her relationship with her sister, it really does feel like she's trying to clear the air so she can move forward. She's entering this new era with her music, and it seems like she wants to be able to do that without all these unanswered questions hanging over her. She did mention that she hasn't had her dream acting role yet, so she's still keeping the door open for more acting work. And she hasn't completely ruled out the Lizzie McGuire reboot either, even though that project fell apart a few years ago, when Disney felt like the scripts were too adult for Disney+. At the time, streaming was still pretty new, and Disney was trying to keep Disney+ very family-friendly. Now that Hulu and Disney+ are basically merging, it would probably be easier to do a more grown-up version of Lizzie McGuire. But Hilary said she's not really feeling it right now. Maybe later in life she'd be open to it, but for now, she's focused on other things. So that's what Hilary has been saying in all these recent interviews. It's a lot, and I think it's pretty brave of her to be so open about some of these more difficult topics, especially the situation with her sister. What do you guys think about all of this? Do you think the mom group drama was overblown, or do you think there's more to the story? And what about her relationship with her sister? Do you think putting it in a song will help, or make things worse? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you want to keep up with more celebrity news and breakdowns like this, make sure to subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll talk to you in the next one.